Let's see here. What do we got? Live? We got it. Okay, cool. I'm gonna refresh my little screen right here. You guys know the drill. I gotta make sure that I'm live. Clovis Culture tagged you in a post. I'm pretty sure that means that we're live. I just gotta check because I'm doing the dual screens again, everybody. What's up? How are you? Happy Wednesday. Happy AMA day. It's the best day of the week, right? Welcome. I hope everything looks good. I moved some things around. I was trying to deal with this glare situation that we have going on here. Let me see. I can see myself. I can see the board. Let me see if I adjust here a little bit. I think I'm gonna pull you a little bit closer. Let's do that. Go a little bit closer. See how that does. Let's see, guys. I don't know. I got my marker. I got my eraser this time, so I'm actually good to go for once before starting a live video, pretty much. Got my notes right here. Super excited about today's episode, dropping stuff. All right, let me see here. I'm gonna take a look at the screen. Yep, that looks pretty good. If I stay in here, I can kind of mitigate this glare situation. So what's up, everybody? How are you? Let's read some comments. Hey there, hey there. Hi, Stacy. Hi, Carla. Hi, Laura. Hi, Krista. Hi, Jessica. Hi, Melinda. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Allison. This is awesome. Tiffany. Hi, Tiffany. Hi, Tina. Hi, Stacy. Hi, Allison. Crazy. This is so good. Hi, Melinda. What's up? Monique. Hey, this is gonna be cool. All right. This is live Ask Me Anything. This is AMA number 27. I don't know if I've ever been this excited about an AMA. I guess I have been. Most of the children, childhood nutrition AMAs really get me. But this one's pretty cool. This is AMA number 27. I'm calling it What Makes Clovis Different. And I have discovered that I really just need to give a crash course in exactly what Clovis is, exactly how Clovis works. So this is really an episode for the newbies, but I think that a lot of you who are in the Clovis Academy, who are in I Am Clovis, who are in Clovis Kids, you're gonna get a lot out of this too, because I'm gonna break some things down. Maybe you're confused about some aspects of the plan, maybe you're confused about macros, maybe you're confused about the approved foods list, blah, blah, blah. Any of these things, we're gonna touch on all of them. This is called What Makes Clovis Different. This explains who I am, what I do, a little bit of background, why I do it, and why Clovis is different from all of these trends out there, or fads. I love the term fad diet. Just kidding, I hate it. The term fad diet, I hate the term diet, I hate the term dieting, I hate the term calorie restriction, I hate all of these things, right? You're gonna learn why I hate all of those things so much, and you're gonna learn why I literally started my own company because everything else was bullshit. That's it. And you're gonna learn who I am and the way I talk, and that's the way I talk. I give it to you real. I'm gonna explain all of the nonsense out there. I'm gonna explain how I sorted through the nonsense for you. I'm gonna explain how I'm really not special. I don't have any secrets. I don't have anything that didn't already exist before I taught it to you, right? I'm not claiming to be some guru or something like that. I'm simply explaining the facts as I have discovered them to you through my journey. And I'm a little bit jittery today. Speaking of journey, I had 2 milligrams of nicotine today, which is a well-known nootropic, a performance-enhancing drug, and super safe, completely safe outside of cigarettes and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, weird little biohack. Tried it a couple times before, and holy crap, it sends you through the roof. Like literally, I have a ton of energy. So I am going to actively make myself speak slower. Monique knows what I'm talking about, but I'm actually gonna try to speak a little bit slowly because there's a lot of information here. I'm not gonna time limit myself because I think it's really important for me to explain this stuff to you. Sorry about the shadow. I've been trying to handle this shadow situation, but it's not working out in my favor. So let's jump in. Episode number 27. First things first, share this on your page. Click the share button, share, click share now public, and it's gonna say, this has been shared to your timeline. Thanks, Facebook. I appreciate the notification. So it's on my page now. That's the Justin Alt page. We are on the Clovis Culture page, not to be confused with the Clovis Academy. I Am Clovis or Clovis Kids. We're going to talk about all of those things. So I just want to preface this episode by letting you know that it's an intro for all the newbies. Like I said, I think there's a lot of good information for people who are not, who are already a part of Clovis. And I know that some of you who are here, if you get tagged or this gets shared or you're seeing it on someone else's wall, it's probably a friend or a family member or an acquaintance, and they've been yapping about this Clovis thing, and saying that they lost all this weight and their clothes won't fit anymore and they feel great and their skin looks fantastic and they follow this Justin guy, and you maybe watched an episode and said he uses profanity, that guy's a dick, I don't like him. Or maybe you think that your family member or relative is a crazy person and this is too good to be true. What is this Clovis thing all about? That's what we're here for. I'm here to tell you what this Clovis thing is all about. This is the episode for you. Now, I promise I'm gonna give you details. I'm gonna jump into, where's my cursor? There it is. I'm gonna jump into details of exactly how my protocol works, the custom nutrition plans for adults. We're gonna talk about, that's called I Am Clovis, by the way, that the custom nutrition plan I Am Clovis, those are the same thing. And Clovis Kids, which is a membership program for the family, including all the kids in the household. And we're gonna talk about the Clovis Academy, talk about the protocols, I'm gonna give you all the details. But for those of you that don't know, I'm gonna give you just a small rundown of exactly who I am and how this came to be. So let's get this started. I don't have that much time. Where did Clovis come from? So let's talk about where Clovis came from. By the way, I talk about this in a couple different places, and I'm gonna link to all these in the show notes. So every time I do an episode, show notes will go up it's a blog post that has a link to a podcast episode for iTunes and Spotify and Google Play. This will be podcast as well. There will be show notes, links, and resources. So anything I mention here, I can link to directly in the show notes and resources. That's gonna be at clovis.store/AMA, as Ask Me Anything, clovis.store/AMA. So you can see all the previous blog posts, all the previous AMAs, everything. This will go up and they'll have show notes for anything I talk about. What I'm talking about right now is the Optimized Paleo podcast that I did with Autumn Smith and the folks over at Paleo Valley, which is a fantastic company. They make grass-fed beef sticks. They're incredible. And I did their podcast and told the origin story of Clovis Kids, how that came to be. There's a video on YouTube, on the Clovis Culture's YouTube, that I'll link to, that talks a bit about my origin story, how this came to be, why I got into fitness and nutrition as a kid, why I became really unhealthy as a kid and obsessed with things that we'll talk about here in a second. And then, so I'll link to that, that's on YouTube. There's another AMA called AMA number 9, Feeding Your Children and Their Gut Bugs, in which I talk about my niece who is disabled and is terminally ill. And I want to talk about her. And that's episode number 9, which is already done as an Ask Me Anything. So you can check that out. Hold on one second. Chris is sending me messages during the AMA. That's not a good idea. Don't do that. All right. So anyway, we're gonna jump in. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my story, but I will link to those 3 things. I'll link to the Optimized Paleo podcast. I'll link to the Clovis YouTube that has an origin video of me, and I'll link to the AMA number 9 where I talk about Savannah, this, that, the other thing. These are all my stories. This is where this comes from. So I grew up, probably like a lot of you, as a chubby kid, or I don't want to say a fat kid, I was really just a chubby kid. And I got teased a bit, and I can remember incidences of adults, painful times where adults teased me, like I was like 8, the first time I got called fat boy by 2 grown men, situations like that, and it just spiraled out of control. It just insecurity took over from that moment on. So there I am at 8 years old or 9 years old or whatever it may be, and I already hate my body. I skipped field trips where we were supposed to go swimming. I would convince my mom to let me stay home because I didn't want to take my shirt off in public. It was really hard. And thus began my love-hate, mostly hate relationship with my body. Now this isn't talked about with men a lot. I have no problem talking about it because I'm secure about it now. But that began my unhealthy obsession with fitness and dieting that lasted the next 25 years. Got me to where I am now, I guess, maybe 20 years, because I've straightened out in the last 5 years and figured this stuff out to some extent, and that's what I'm sharing here with you. So this happens when I'm very young, and by the time I'm a teenager, I am a fitness addict. I'm 15 years old, I'm lifting weights an hour a day. I am on the treadmill 45 minutes to an hour every day. I'm talking 7 days a week. I'm killing myself, I'm starving myself. I remember going to nutrition stores with my friends. We'd literally ride our bikes there because we couldn't drive yet, to buy green tea fat burners. It started with green tea fat burning capsules. That's where I started. And then I graduated from green tea fat burning supplements into Hydroxycut, which was all the rage when I was a teenager. So I started taking Hydroxycut, and then there was super Hydroxycut, and then I found caffeine pills. So I had caffeine pills, and then I found ephedrine pills. And ephedrine is illegal now. But ephedrine was literally hidden in my sock drawer type thing. I was taking ephedrine, caffeine pills, whey protein, creatine at 15 years old. And the thing is, a lot of 15-year-olds are doing this right now. And if you have a 15-year-old, he might be doing it and you might not realize it. So that's where this came from with me. I carried this obsession with my physique through college, and I was high carb, low fat, following the food pyramid, couldn't figure out why I could never get abs, just couldn't figure it out, just killing myself. Carried it into college. In college, I became a boxer. I started boxing 2 hours a day, 6 days a week with the former light heavyweight champion of California. His name's Rodney Toney. Used to train me 2 hours a day. I just get my ass kicked, kill myself. Was obsessed with training. And then from there, I moved to Nashville. And when I moved to Nashville, now I'm a professional musician living in Nashville, which I still am to this day. But first move here, start a band, start breaking attendance records. I'm playing shows to thousands of people. I land a reality TV show. Next thing I know, I'm on ABC. I have a network TV show that I'm on. And my obsession with my appearance just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. So now I'm playing these shows for thousands of people. I'm constantly on stage 6 nights a week. There's girls everywhere, and I'm just more insecure than I've ever been. I'm just obsessed with my appearance. I'm back to training 2 hours a day. I was doing 2 hours a day of like traditional bodybuilding, and I was eating 5 meals per day, brown rice, tilapia, high carb, low fat, 90-minute to 2 hour workouts every single day. I hired personal trainers. I did traditional bodybuilding 6 days a week with the split, like bicep day, chest day, leg day, back day, right? I've completed P90X. Every single P90X that exists, I've done them all at least 2 times. I did Insanity, the Insanity workout by Shaun T. I completed it 6 times, and I never saw any results. None, literally none. Like, I wasn't a fat kid. I wasn't fat anymore, but I did not look like I look now. Like right now, I'm probably 11 or 12% body fat. At this time, while I was working out 6 days a week, 2 hours a day, and starving myself and eating high carb, low fat, I was around 27% body fat. Like, you could not see my abs. I just looked like a stocky kid, right? Like, I lifted weights or whatever. Inflamed, double chin, the whole thing, right? I just didn't look like me. I was 25, 30 pounds heavier than I am right now. So it just wasn't fair. And I was obsessed with it. As obsessed as I was, I couldn't get the results I was looking for kicking my ass every day, right? Does this sound familiar to anybody? I'm sure this sounds familiar to a lot of you. Kicking your ass, can't get the results, right? So I finally saw a documentary called In Search of the Perfect Human Diet. The Perfect Human Diet was created by C.J. Hunt. C.J. Hunt is now a very good friend of me, a very good friend of mine. This took an anthropological look at the evidence for human nutrition throughout all of human history prior to the advent of agriculture, which was paleo. He never says this in the documentary, really. He doesn't really call it paleo. He talks about our Paleolithic ancestors, but he didn't want to push an agenda. It was investigative journalism, which I love, right? So that led me to paleo. The next thing I know, I have every single free minute of my time, I'm studying biochemistry, endocrinology, paleo, the gut microbiome, human metabolism, like the corrupt origins of the food pyramid, and how none of mainstream advice has any science behind it. It was created by agricultural companies, by like food companies and marketers and politicians. There wasn't a single nutritionist, dietitian, doctor in the room when the food pyramid was made. I start realizing all this stuff. Then I start losing weight effortlessly, start losing fat, and I'm not working out. I'm like, wait a minute, this is crazy. And then I go back to school, I become a certified nutritional therapist, I go back to school again, I become a certified specialist in sports nutrition. I'm now in school for a 3rd time, getting a certification as a specialist in fitness nutrition, which is a little more broad than the specialist in sports nutrition. So anyway, at the same time that I'm doing all of this, I'm learning about nutrition, this strange kind of what I call tragic coincidence or tragic serendipity. Serendipity, I don't think is the right word, just this crazy thing where I'm obsessed with nutrition. And my brother and his wife give birth to a baby that is terminally ill. So this part's really hard for me to talk about. I'm gonna try to like brush over it because it gets me really upset. So she was given 3 years to live. She was born having 300 plus seizures a day. She has something called KCNQ2. They ran over $1 million in testing on her. She was constantly hooked up to machines. We like lived in the pediatric ICU. And yeah, so she was given 3 years to live and it sucked. So that was the first I'd ever heard of the ketogenic diet and a company called the Charlie Foundation. So the Charlie Foundation treats epileptic children with the ketogenic diet, which is incredible. So I learned about the ketogenic diet for seizures, and I started putting myself deep in nutritional ketosis. I was doing daily blood draws. I was tracking my ketone levels. I went full-blown ketogenic. My brother did, my dad did. I learned all about keto, right? So now I know all about paleo. I have my certifications. I learned about keto, and I know all these things about nutrition. And I see this baby formula that they're feeding her. That's a ketogenic baby formula. It's all refined vegetable oils and artificial sweeteners. It's cancer in a can. So I'm freaking out. I'm like, this is freaking terrible. And at the same time, again, by this weird coincidence, I'm in my kitchen because I missed my old days of protein shakes. I was like, I want my protein shakes back, but I know so much about nutrition that I can't look at those labels and look at all the chemicals on these products I used to take, these whey proteins and casein proteins and pre-workouts and all this. It was all disgusting. I couldn't put this in my body. So in my kitchen, at the same time that I'm going through this with Savannah, I literally have food dehydrators and food processors and my oven going and a NutriBullet, and I'm dehydrating what I think are paleo superfoods, and I'm throwing them in a NutriBullet with water and coconut milk or almond milk, and I'm blending them up, and I'm like, I'm gonna make a post-workout drink, a post-workout smoothie that's 100% paleo. I'm just gonna make it for myself, right? And then this formula thing happens, and I'm like, there's more people that need this than me. And my first go-to in terms of how to make money on this thing was the CrossFit community. I was training CrossFit at the time. So I had a fire lit under me because of this Savannah situation to get this powder to the market. So I hired a food and beverage consulting company, and the next year and a half was insane, tremendous obstacles. I never thought that I was gonna get this thing to market. I just didn't think it was gonna happen. And fast forward, December 2015, I sold my first bottle of the Perfect Paleo Powder on Christmas Eve on Amazon Prime. So I launched in December 2015, and the rest is history, as they say. So that was in 2015, and at the time, there's a company called the Paleo Foundation, and they certified my product as paleo friendly. So I had the first ever certified paleo friendly protein powder in the world. If you're in the academy or I'm Clovis, I don't know if you even know that, but I had the first ever certified paleo friendly protein powder in the world, literally. And I didn't know what to do. I was not a businessman. I was a musician, and I was just like, this is crazy, I'm selling all these bottles on Amazon. Like it was wild. I did really, really well. That was the first iteration of the Perfect Paleo Powder. There are now 7 different Perfect Paleo Powders. There's 4 different formulas and 3 different flavors, total 7. So eventually, fast forward that story, I was able to feed my niece the Perfect Paleo Powder through her feeding tube. She's on the feeding tube. She can't eat or swallow or anything. So she's still around. She's over 4 years old. She's outlived the doctors, what they think that she was gonna live. So that was one of my proudest moments when a Vanderbilt neurologist actually said, you can put these ingredients are fantastic. You can feed your niece this in her feeding tube. So there you have it. That's the Clovis story. I don't like talking about it. It's very tough to talk about, but I have to give you a little backstory of who I am, because I think that there is this misconception that I am just some guy from the internet or some kind of guru or some kind of nutrition asshole who tells people where they're wrong and tries to tell people what to do or is selling anything. Yes, I sell stuff. I own the Clovis store. It's my company, right? This is my company. That's why I wore this t-shirt today, right? But you need to know who I am. You need to know how this happens. I didn't set out for any of this. I didn't try to do any of this. I didn't do it on purpose. Right? I'm a songwriter, man. If you Google me, you're gonna get my album and you're gonna get videos of me online and the TV show that I did and this, that, the other thing. But this just happened. That's how we got here. So fast forward to today, and Clovis has a life of its own. It's crazy. I've worked with over 500 clients, transformed their lives, adults through Clovis Kids. I have worked with over 60 families and over 100 children. It's really, really staggering. It's just staggering. And I have really, not to toot my own horn, I have created ridiculously amazing transformations in people. Obviously, they make the transformations. I just give them the information to do it. But these transformations are insane. It's beautiful. I'm so thankful that I get to be a part of this, right? So that's what I do now. And I've done all this coaching, this 500 plus adults and over 100 kids. I've done all this in the last 6 months. This just really got away from me, guys. Here I am. I have a podcast. I have an AMA every week, and I sell my powders. I don't even know how I got here, right? But that's where we are. So if you don't know me and this is your first interaction with me, that's who I am. My name is Justin Nault. I own Clovis. I'm the CEO. I'm the founder. I run this whole shebang. This is what I do. I try to transform people's lives, right? So that is the origin of my story. I wanted to share that with you. I wanted to keep it under the first 20 minutes, so I got pretty close, about 23 minutes. So yeah, that's a little bit about me, and I wanted to tell you guys that. That's where Clovis came from. So now I have Clovis. You can find everything Clovis at clovis.store. I have the Clovis culture on everything: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all of the things, right? So let's jump in to what Clovis is, especially if you have a friend or family that's in the Clovis Academy. The Clovis Academy is a free group. It's a private group, but it's free. That's a safe space. You're safe to post pictures, post results. You can see transformations. You can search topics. You can see what people are talking about. You can go to facebook.com/groups/Clovis Academy, and you can get in there right now for free. So go join it. You can check out what we're all about, and we'll get further into the membership platforms and everything. So what is Clovis exactly? Here's the number one reason that I've been looking forward to this AMA. Sorry, I'm still trying to compose myself from the Savannah story. It's really, really hard. So I'm gonna be better now, but this is what I really wanted to talk about. Is I want to point this out to you. When I tell you that I'm not a guru, I'm not a expert, I'm not a PhD, I'm not all of these things, right? I'm not all of these labels that people try to put on me or ask me for my credentials or whatever. Like, I barely knew that my credentials were NTP. I don't care about credentials. I care about what I've learned, right? So I want to take this opportunity to let you know that what I am is a curator of information. So I think that it's possible for some people to look at this like, he's so smart, or he knows all these things, or he has 50 plus hours. There's 50 plus hours of AMA, video content, podcast content. I can talk forever on these topics, right? Because I've been through it all, right? But don't look at me as any different. I'm no different, right? I am curator. What I'm good at is curating information. There is nothing new under the sun. Let me tell you what I mean by that. Paleo is the way humans have eaten throughout all of history. All of history prior to the advent of agriculture, and since agriculture, we have only gotten more and more and more unhealthy. It's been terrible. So the vast majority of human history has been a paleo diet. Period. Irrefutable, right? The ketogenic diet has been used clinically as a therapeutic modality for well over 100 years, documented, probably 150, 160, 170 years, something like that now. I think it goes back to 1863 or something like that, this low-carb, high-fat diet, right? So it's been used as a treatment modality for a very long time. Fasting and intermittent fasting, which I talk about sometimes, these are so old, they're mentioned in the Bible more than 77 times, right? Not new. So no part of me, no going into this, if you're a new person, you don't know who I am, no part of me is claiming to be some prophet that has all the secrets or has all the answers to human health. I'm simply here to tell you that everything that you think you know about nutrition, everything that you think you know about nutrition was put in your head by marketers. That is it. Marketing companies and big food companies. Everything that doctors think they know about nutrition was put in their head by marketing companies and big food companies. And then the other player is pharmaceutical companies. That's where this comes from. Everything you think you know is wrong. When you look at me and tell me fruit is a health food, you're wrong. You just don't know it yet. Okay? This is all marketing. It's insane. That's what I want you to understand. These companies did not have your best interest or your health in mind. They had their pockets in mind. They took the money out of your pockets and put it in their pockets. That's why you eat 3 meals a day and 3 snacks a day in between, so you can speed up your metabolism. All this nonsense, right? It's just to get you to eat more food to be a consumer. So as part of Clovis, what you're learning about my journey. That's all there is to this. Everything I give you is a curation of thousands and thousands of hours of research that I have done over the last decade. Literal thousands and thousands of hours of research. Everything that you can imagine. The good, the bad, the ugly, what works, what doesn't. I've gone back to school twice. I'm in school now for the 3rd time for a new nutrition certification. And here is the number one problem. The reason why you can't get results, the reason why nothing seems to work, the reason why people are arguing incessantly is because of this. This is the number one problem with health and wellness in America. Camps. This is the number one reason that health and wellness is failing America. It's why we have an obesity epidemic. It's why we have a type 2 epidemic, a type 2 diabetes epidemic. It's why we have an Alzheimer's and dementia epidemic. Why we have diabetes in kids, children, because of this, because of camps, okay? Vegan, vegetarian, low carb, keto, paleo, bodybuilders, crossfitters, endurance trainers, carnivores, yogis, religious people, political people. It's all camps. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. Camps, they're closed-minded camps. The ass clowns of the world. This is what we're talking about right now. That's what I call them. They're camps, but they are what I just called them, realistically. All of these camps swear that their way is the correct way. It is the only way. Try their way, and if it doesn't work for you, clearly you did something wrong. If their way didn't work, clearly you're lying or you're not trying hard enough. Just keep doing it their way, except do their way harder. And magically you'll get results. It's the same with all camps. That's what they tell you. To get the elite results, it must be harder. It must be more difficult. It requires more hard work and more sacrifice on your part. It's your fault that their camp is not working for you. Does this sound familiar? Oh, you cut calories and didn't work? Just cut more calories. Oh, you ran on a treadmill and didn't work? Just run on a treadmill. You know, it's insanity, right? It's ridiculous. So I want you to make sure that you're careful of these camps. Let me see this sound thing right here real quick. Hello? Oh, you cut calories and didn't work? Just cut more calories. Yeah, sounds fine on my end. Amanda, that might be your computer. God, you made me nervous. I'm going to check on that just to make sure sound is okay. But these camps, it's insanity, right? These camps will tell you that you are wrong. If it's not happening, if it's not happening for you, if you're not getting results, it's your fault, it's your problem, right? So now that we've talked about these camps, let's get into what makes Clovis different. The number one thing that makes Clovis different that I want to tell you about is I didn't do this for you. I want you to think about the story that I just told you. I didn't do this for you. I created Clovis for me. I didn't make this for you. I created it for me because I was lost, because I was fed up, because I was frustrated. Every single camp failed me, so I had to make my own protocol. That's what happened here, right? This is why I'm here. Clovis is me. I am Clovis. Clovis is my journey. I have just chosen to share it with you. That's it. That's all there is to it, right? I don't owe anybody anything. I didn't make this for anybody. I made it for me, right? This is my journey and I'm taking you on it with me. I choose to share it with you. Now, I have spent years, literal years, every free moment, because I'm very fortunate. I play music for a living, so I can play 2 nights a week and pay all of my bills. That's what I've done for years and years and years. I play Friday and Saturday and I pay all my bills. That leaves me with a lot of free time. Every second of that free time has been devoted to this. Figuring out the truth about optimal human health and wellness. Every second, right? That's all there is to it. So I've spent years exploring the ins and outs of all these camps, and I have curated the proven elements of each camp, and I have violently, if you know me from the Clovis Academy or any of these groups, I have violently rejected the nonsense that is found in every single one of these camps. I take the good, reject the bad viciously. That's what I do, right? And here's what I mean. So let's get into what Clovis is. This is how I created Clovis, right? We talk about camps. So I explored the paleo camp, right? Explored the paleo camp, fell in love with it. Paleo is now the foundation of everything I do. We should only eat whole foods, not processed foods. You should ditch processed foods and stick to whole foods. That's the entire principle behind paleo, right? However, I do not recommend traditional paleo for fat loss because it doesn't restrict carbohydrates and it doesn't restrict sugar. It is entirely possible to eat a 100% paleo diet and still get type 2 diabetes. Reject. We reject that portion of paleo, right? Then I explored the vegetarian camp. And these are in no particular order. Vegetarian camp, right? And discovered that leafy green vegetables are absolute superfoods and we should eat a ton of them. So I eat an immense amount of leafy green vegetables. Vegetables are a big part of my diet, very low net carb, very high nutrient dense vegetables. So I grab those superfoods from the vegetarian camp and put them into my day-to-day life. I grabbed that principle and rejected the nonsense about healthy whole grains and soy. I'm just gonna leave that shit over there, okay? You guys can keep that. Thank you, see ya, I'm out, I had fun in your camp, right? Then you explore the vegan camp, right? What do I come away from there? I come away with the fact that factory farming and feedlot cattle raising should be illegal. It's disgusting. We should not torture animals for food. Nobody should support feedlot factory farming. Nobody. It's awful. It's disgusting. I wish that it was illegal, right? It's terrible. Animals should not be tortured for our food. I took that from the vegans and rejected the nonsense about meat being murder or meat causing cancer or being unhealthy. Nonsense. None of this is true. No scientific data behind it whatsoever. I don't care what the health documentary says. They've been debunked a bazillion times over. It should be pulled from Netflix. Those guys should go to jail for lying that bad, literally. So we reject that nonsense from the vegan movement. Then we say hello to the carnivore camp, right? These are these crazy guys that literally eat nothing but meat. That's the carnivore camp. And I advocate eating meat. I advocate eating ethically sourced meat, pasture-raised, grass-fed beef, pasture-raised chickens, wild-caught fish, right? It's entirely possible to ethically raise cattle and animal products, which are nutrient-dense superfoods. But I think it is nuts to eat anything but meat. Just eat meat all the time and nothing else. That's crazy, unless you're using it as a therapeutic modality for something like intense medication-resistant autoimmune issues. Carnivore diet is fantastic at reversing autoimmune diseases. It's insane. It's pretty staggering to watch, right? But I reject just eating meat all the time, right? Then we get into ketogenic. Again, guys, we're talking about all these camps, right? The ketogenic people who swear the ketogenic diet is for everyone, and if it doesn't work for you, you're just not doing it right. Crazy, right? I explored the ketogenic diet in depth, especially because of the Savannah situation. I spent weeks and weeks and weeks at a time in nutritional ketosis, drawing my blood every single day, okay? Crazy. I think the ketogenic diet is another fantastic therapeutic modality. It should be treated as a therapeutic modality and used under certain circumstances. I think it should be reserved as a therapeutic modality, and many people will not thrive on it, okay? I eat plenty of healthy fats, but not ketogenic levels. I eat low carb, but not ketogenic levels. I reject the idea completely that dairy is good for you, maybe in some very, very, very specific circumstances. It could be good for you if sourced perfectly and you have the genetics for it, right? I reject the idea that keto is right for everyone. Then we explore intermittent fasting and fasting, right? This is one of the most promising things I have ever found in all of my research of human health. Literally, intermittent fasting and fasting appears to be a cure-all. It's absolutely insane, staggering the results you can get. But the intermittent fasting camp, especially the bodybuilding intermittent fasting camp, uses fasting and intermittent fasting as an excuse to have the nastiest diet you can think of. They can just eat garbage because they can undo the damage with fasting, right? Terrible. I reject that 100%. Now, we get into the fitness camps, right? So we get into fitness. I'm just walking you through how Clovis came to be, guys, right? And this is years and years and years. We get into the fitness camps, right? And I think that resistance training, heavy, low-rep resistance training, is the fountain of youth for human health and longevity. Literally. It is the fountain of youth for health and longevity. But I think bodybuilding is ridiculous. It is dumb. Don't do it, okay? I think high-rep training is ridiculously dangerous, especially high-rep, high-weight when you're working with 70% of your max, things like this. I take the effective compound movements, the functional fitness, and I reject the vanity exercises. I think steady-state cardio, jogging on a treadmill, running for 3 miles, 6 miles at 70% of your heart rate, blah, 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 all this steady-state cardio, I think it's stupid. I think it's incredibly unhealthy. I think it's damaging to the body. There's science that backs up the fact that it's damaging to the body. But I think that cardio, quote unquote, done in the form of aerobic threshold training is a fantastic hack for fat loss. It's a fantastic hack for overall health. So it's still cardio, yes, kind of, but details matter. Take the good, reject the bad, right? I think CrossFit is fantastic for people who want to compete in CrossFit. For the average Joe looking to improve their physique, it's insane. There's no reason you should do it, okay? Keep in mind, I practiced CrossFit for years. I practiced powerlifting for years. I have a history of trying to deadlift 500 pounds, never hit 425, injured myself a ton. It was stupid, right? Okay? I respect doctors in the medical community. I promise we're almost done. I respect doctors in the medical community immensely. However, I think that a good doctor should be judged on how many medications they can get their patients off of, not how many medication prescriptions they can write. It is the exact opposite 99% of the time with doctors. Literally 99% of the time, probably more than that. It's disgusting, right? I respect them in the areas that they deserve to be respected for. I explored the biohacker camp. Talk about biohacking, right? I was a very serious biohacker. I mean, very serious biohacker. I have been poked and prodded in every place you can think of. I have spent time with shamans in the deep jungles of Peru on the Amazon River. I've explored flow state. I've spoken with therapists and experts around the country. I've sat in ice baths. I've paid $250 an hour to learn holotropic breathing from masters, right? I think biohacking is great for certain applications and only when used in partnership with a solid foundation in nutrition and wellness. There are people that use biohacking just like the intermittent fasters, and they say, I'm a biohacker, doesn't matter what I eat, I can undo it with technology. Crazy, right? You're a crazy person if you think that, okay? So, again, details matter. So what does this all come down to with these camps? What do you take from the camps, right? I know that was long-winded. We go through all these camps. These are all the problems. Now, I didn't even include Weight Watchers and calorie restriction, because these people are the king ass clowns in the land of ass clowns. They have no idea what they're talking about, and they're all overweight or obese, and it's ridiculous. It's just sad. It's ridiculous. They should go to jail for what they teach people. It's terrible, right? So, details matter. So what Clovis is, all these camps, what I ended up with was logic. This is what I settled on, everybody. This is the big, giant secret of Clovis. What no one knows about, that Justin, the guru, the keeper of keys and keeper of worlds, has discovered the truth, the secrets to heal all of your issues. It's called logic, common sense, everybody. Can we have a little bit of it, please? I know it's very difficult in the 2018 space to have any kind of logic or common sense. But this is what I settled on. It is literally learn, unlearn, relearn. I try to teach this all the time, especially when I talk about mindset. Learn, unlearn, relearn. Learn something based on the best evidence you have. When you're presented with new evidence that refutes it, unlearn the first thing you learn and relearn the next thing. That is better. That is accurate information, okay? Clovis is learn, unlearn, relearn. Now I'm gonna step in front of this for a second because I know you guys can see it. It's just more comfortable here for me, right? Now, I'm gonna get all woo-woo on you. You heard my backstory, you heard where I come from. I'm gonna get woo-woo on you, and I don't care if you like it or not. Clovis is love. Literally. Clovis is the expression of love in its purest form. The purest form that I can imagine. It's the greatest expression of love that I have ever facilitated. That's what this is. It's me trying to sort through all the nonsense for you. It's me trying to help you avoid all of the obstacles, expensive, crazy expensive testing, training, hourly, $250 per hour, whatever. I'm just me trying to help you avoid the obstacles, expensive testing and training, illnesses I've suffered, the tremendous number of injuries I have suffered. I have damaged my body in tremendous ways, right? Biohacking disasters and pain. Straight up pain from everything that I have done to myself. I've done this, and I've put this out here as free information so you don't have to do those things. I have experienced all of that throughout my journey so you don't have to. This is why I'm here, right? Love is the motivation for everything that I do within Clovis. It's not even my job, guys. You know, I play music. Music bought this house. Clovis didn't buy this house. Music bought my iPhone X. Music bought this whiteboard. Music bought this t-shirt. It's just the way that it is, right? That's what my life is. Love is the motivation behind everything I do. Why? Because I hate the fact that we have all been lied to. For so many years, for decades, we've been lied to. So in my mind, I am simply trying to correct an injustice by spreading truth. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to correct a tremendous injustice. That's why I'm here. I genuinely love you all. I want you to be happy. You deserve to be happy. It's impossible to be happy when you are unhealthy. It is not possible. I'm trying to help you experience joy. I don't give a shit what you look like naked. I don't care. I want you to be happy. That's it. There is a reason why I get incredible transformations in people. It's because I've already subjected myself to everything that doesn't work. I've put myself through it. It's crazy. I've never talked about it like this with you guys. I have destroyed myself in every sense of the word. I'm like just now getting to a place where I consider myself to be somewhat healthy from all the damage that I've done over the years, right? That's why I do this. I've already done everything that doesn't work. So I bring you the best of the best. That's what I'm here for. All right, let's take a little break, and then I'm gonna get into the details because we're running out of time here. So, how you guys feeling so far? Leave me some comments. I'm gonna adjust my screen here for a second so I can see you guys a little bit better. Let's see, there we go. You reminded me that it takes discipline in many aspects of my life. Yes, 100%. Discipline is love. Sometimes it's tough, but it is always worth it. I love that. I love all these hearts. Thank you guys for the hearts. Keeper of keys. Yes, piano keys, that's right. I just ordered some of those shirts. Awesome, cool. TRX, yeah, pretty cool. Love you, brother. Thank you, Teresa. I appreciate it. Teresa knows what I'm talking about. Peru. Man, yes, fixed, perfect, okay. Thought it was an acronym. Cool, all right, checking out comments here, making sure you guys are good. Love the explanation of how Clovis came to be. Yes, 100%, feeling the love. I hope you're feeling love. Trying. That's what I put out here. Oh. That was my love expression. Wasn't that good? It's pretty good, right? All right, so one, I wanna make sure all this is making sense to you, right? So again, I am simply a curator. For some reason, I am very good at researching. I am able to research difficult topics and distill them to audiences in a way that is easy for them to understand. I don't know why I'm able to do this. I literally have no idea. I don't know why I get to do this. I don't think I'm special. I don't think I hold any secrets. I don't think I'm capable of anything that you are not capable of. I want you to think of the Matrix. I talk about this a lot. I'm simply giving you the red pill, right? I'm trying to help you see things for what they are. I'm handing you the keys to the kingdom. I expect you to go in, unlock doors, swing them open, explore yourself, poke around, start with my content, start with my AMAs, then move on to my recommended resources within the membership portals, then go from there and explore on your own. I want you to learn, unlearn, relearn. I want you to do this until you no longer need me. I want you to take my information and challenge it. I want you to try to prove me wrong. This is what Clovis is. This is what I want from you, okay? I want you to go out, do the research until you don't need me anymore. Clovis is all about finding the truth, the answers, the keys to optimal human health and wellness. And I hope that that gives you a better idea of why I'm standing here. Before we jump into Clovis, custom nutrition plans via I Am Clovis. Visit clovis.store today and pick up your very own custom nutrition plan. Imagine if I talked like a salesperson. It'd be ridiculous. All right, I'm gonna pull down this camps thing. I'm gonna talk about what the custom nutrition plan is. Now that you have a little bit of background on me, Clovis, how Clovis came to be, what Clovis is, the curation aspect of this, we're gonna talk about I Am Clovis, okay? So I Am Clovis, this is what I call an adult custom macros plan or an adult custom nutrition plan, right? So how it works is when you sign up at clovis.store, you'll see lifestyle coaching. You can sign up for a custom nutrition plan. This is I Am Clovis. I Am Clovis and custom nutrition plan are the same thing. When you sign up, you will get an order confirmation with a welcome email from me. That welcome email is gonna ask you for information, namely age, height, weight, if you have a training routine, what that looks like, what your goals are, how you're feeling, what your complaints are, what symptoms you have of being unhealthy, whatever. I'm gonna go over that email personally. Yes, me, myself, I do this for every single custom plan, all 500 of them, right? It's me, okay? So with these custom plans, I will personally run your numbers. This is called your personal macros, okay? So you get macros from me. Macros is short for macronutrients. What are macronutrients? Fat, protein, and carbohydrates. These are the three major macronutrient groups. And anytime I refer to carbs or carbohydrates, I'm talking about net carbs, which is total carbs minus dietary fiber. So just keep that in mind. Anytime I say carbohydrates, I'm talking net carbs because fiber is not usable by the body, so it doesn't count. So I'm talking net carbs all the time, right? Yeah, there's a link for a custom nutrition plan. Boom, thank you, Krista. That's awesome. So anytime I refer to carbs, I'm referring to net carbohydrates. These are the blueprints for your success based on your unique numbers, which I use to come up with your custom macros. So I will tell you exactly what amount of each macronutrient to eat to achieve success. You will hit these macros by eating foods that are on the approved foods list. So you get your macros and you get an approved foods list. And the goal here is to hit the macros I give you using only foods that are on your approved foods list. That's how this works, okay? And I tell you exactly how much of each macronutrient to eat. So I tell you the number of grams of fat per day, the number of grams of protein per day, the number of grams of net carbohydrates per day. I recommend an app that you can use to track those macros. That's an app called Carb Manager, okay? That's free. You can get it today if you want to without a custom nutrition plan. You can just download it, right? So I tell you exactly how to hit these macros by only eating foods on the approved foods list. In the beginning, you will track everything so you have a better understanding of how macronutrients work, how to hit those macronutrients. So with the plan, you'll get your approved foods list, you'll get your custom macros, you're gonna get step-by-step instructions for your first 30 days. Those step-by-step instructions, they include exercise recommendations, supplement recommendations, instructions for tracking your progress properly, recommended paleo powder formulas to help you towards your specific goals that you have told me about. This also gives you access to the I Am Clovis website. The I Am Clovis website is a membership-only platform. You'll find exclusive video content only found on that membership platform, found nowhere else on Clovis social media. It has my reading list for books and resources, has links to my favorite podcast. It's friggin' awesome. I love the I Am Clovis website, right? And you also get access to the private I Am Clovis private Facebook group, right? And I try to go live in that group every single day. I answer questions, people share their results. They get a little bit more attention, and I will prioritize their questions and all these things because if you're a part of I Am Clovis, you are one of my paid members. And in the Clovis Academy, it's all 100% free. And I still go live in the Academy every day. I do manifestos, I do it. All that stuff's for free. There's a ton of free information there. It's incredible, right? Now, how do you use this info? When I say hit your macros using the approved foods list, this right here, this asterisk, this is where I see the most confusion with people on their plans. Because what people do, and I should have been clear about this is my fault, what people do is the exact opposite of what I want them to do. They download the approved foods list, print it out, and they go to the grocery store. Terrible idea. You don't want to do that, and I know that that's what almost everybody has done because I didn't explain to them what to do. How you use this information is you take the approved foods list, you sit down at a table. Sit at a table quietly without interruption. Do not be lazy. Take the time to do this. Sit down with the approved foods list. Don't just head to the store. Use either the Carb Manager app or your laptop or phone with Google. You can just Google nutrition facts of anything. So whatever you can do to look up the nutrition facts. Go through the entire list and I want you to circle your favorite foods, right? So if you have a food, let's say it's like beef and eggs and chicken and wild-caught salmon and Brussels sprouts, right? You go through, you circle your favorite foods from that approved foods list and you look them up. You see how those nutrition facts for your favorite food items, you look at those nutrition facts, right? Let's put that, nutrition facts. Sorry, chicken scratch. Look at the nutrition facts and see how those nutrition facts compare to your custom macros. So take your favorite foods, right? Take your very favorite foods, circle them, look up the nutrition facts, take the time to learn about the foods that you love. Then I want you to set up an ideal day. So my ideal day looks like this many eggs and this much, half a pound of beef and this many ounces of broccoli and a can of sardines and MCT oil and a serving of fat loss powder, perfect paleo powder, right? That's, you set up an ideal day. You plug and play your favorite foods until you get the macros things figured out. That's how you set up an ideal day and then launch that ideal day as a goal instead of tracking as you go. This is what everyone does. In the beginning, they wake up with the Carb Manager app and they go to the store and buy approved foods, and then they come home and they're like, they have 2 eggs and they have some pecans or some macadamia nuts, and then in the afternoon they have a piece of chicken and some broccoli. Next thing they know it's 7 p.m. and they look at their phone and they're like 1,000 calories short. They need 50 grams of protein and they need 30 grams of fat, and they jump into the academy and they go, what do? I'm short on all of my numbers. I get that. It's because you try to track as you go. That's a failure on my part. I want you to understand that. If you're watching this and you're like, oh man, he's talking about me, that's a failure on my part because I haven't done this. I haven't broken this down. The approved foods list is a study guide, literally, okay? So you want to plan ideal days instead of tracking as you go, which is gonna make you come up short. So in the beginning, I don't care if you eat the same foods over and over and over and over and over. For the first 30 days, you can eat the same, you can set up an ideal day and hit that ideal day every single day for the first 30 days. You can do anything you want for 30 days, right? Don't be a baby. It's 30 days. You can do anything for 30 days. Now, if you're having trouble hitting your macros, so you have your blueprint set up, you have your ideal day, your favorite foods, you've circled them, you've studied the approved foods list, you know how your nutrition facts hit into your macros, and you're ready to go, right? But you're still having a little bit of trouble. Maybe you're a busy person, you're on the go all the time, so I get these comments like, I'm having a hard time hitting protein, I'm having a hard time hitting net carbohydrates, I'm having a hard time hitting total calories, whatever, even though I don't want you tracking calories, I just want you tracking macros, right? I created the perfect paleo powder. This is my line of nutritional powders, and I created them for a reason. I created them for convenience. I have fat loss, I have a post-workout, I have a pre-workout, I have a digest and rest. But here's the other mistake that people make is these are marketing terms. I run a nutrition company. I have to market products. I put specific ingredients in all of those things. So but the beauty about my products is all of my foods are whole foods. So you can use them for whatever they want, whatever you want. Sure, in certain combinations, whole coffee bean extract, 6 grams of branched chain amino acids, coconut palm sugar, and vitamin B is going to give you a lot of energy to go to the gym, hence pre-workout. But it's still whole foods, it's good for everybody. It's literally good for every human. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't make it tricky. That's the problem. Someone's like, well, I'm not gonna buy the post-workout powder. If you're having trouble hitting your protein or hitting your net carbs, buy the post-workout. The post-workout has 24 grams of protein per serving and 11 grams of net carbs. Now, I believe only 4 of those grams are actual sugar. It's all complex carbohydrates like sweet potato powder. There's sweet potato powder in the post-workout. You don't have to be a bodybuilder to buy a post-workout. This is a fantastic meal replacement option. All of these powders are whole foods. There's 20 plus whole foods in these 4 formulas, and I invented them because they work like a meal, right? The ridiculous thing about protein powders, the concept of protein powder as we know it, is like if you get collagen powder, it's 10 grams of protein. You will never find that in nature, ever. You'll never find pure protein. If you find animal protein, it's gonna be surrounded by fat. If you find plant protein, it's gonna be surrounded by carbohydrates. Meals have multiple macronutrients. Fat, protein, carbohydrates, or some combination of the 3 or 2 or whatever. It's never one, right? It's never one. If you get MCT oil, it's one because it's processed by humans. It's stripped out of its pure form, you know? So all of my nutritional powders are designed to work like meals. That's why I created them. They're meant for you to hit your macros in an easy way. See what I'm saying? That's what you want. That's what you want these for. So it has 20 plus ingredients, works like a meal in your body, has protein, fat, complex carbohydrates, probiotics, prebiotics, antioxidants, anti-inflammatories, MCT oil is in it, vitamins, minerals. It has it all literally. That's what the perfect paleo powder is. The perfect paleo powder is the most nutrient dense, most beneficial nutritional powder in the world, period. That's what it is. So if you're having trouble with any of your macros, especially protein or net carbohydrates, explore the ingredients, explore the nutrition facts of those powders, use them to hit your macros. use my products to hit your macros. So a great question that I got today, a great question that I got today is how much wiggle room do you have on these macros? Let's do this. Wiggle. This is a wiggle. How much wiggle room do you have in your macros? Well, I want to be clear on this. 99.9% of you come to me and you have fat to lose. For some of you, it's a tremendous amount of fat. For some of you, it's a little bit of fat. But what happens is you're trying to lose fat. I don't even use the term lose weight because I hate it. Weight tells you nothing. I want you to lose fat. That's what I want you to do, right? So the goal is to lose fat. Now to do that, I set up your macronutrients perfectly, and I do build in a caloric deficit. We're not gonna get started on the calories debate, calories in, calories out, none of that. I like to get you fast results. So a caloric deficit is built in, okay? So I want you to understand that the caloric deficit is built in. So that means if you want to hit your macros, or you want to know what kind of wiggle room you have with hitting your macros, don't go under. I would say you have a 10 to 20%, let's say 10 to 20%, sorry, I know that's really little, 10 to 20% up. You can go 10 to 20% above your macros, but I don't like to see you go under. Why? Because under eating is tremendously bad for you. It's tremendously bad for your hormone balance, especially in women, right? I don't want you under eating. Watch AMA number 25, Fasting Facts from Fat Loss to Longevity. Watch that AMA where I tell you the dangers of chronic under eating. So remember, when you get custom macros, if your goal is fat loss, unless your goal is muscle gain, in which I will have you at a caloric surplus, but if your goal is fat loss, you're gonna be at a caloric deficit. So I don't want you going under your macros. Hit those macros, hit all of them, or go over them, literally. Keep it around 10%. If you're gonna go over, don't always go over, don't make it a chronic thing. Try to hit them dead on, right? But I don't want you going under. So a lot of people also ask me about meal plans and recipes. I'm gonna touch on this briefly because I've beaten it to death in other AMAs, and I am actively working on a Clovis cookbook for you that only uses approved foods and is an actual cookbook that you can follow. I'm working on that right now because I have no choice at this point. I can't win this argument even though my way is the correct way. And I'm gonna explain that to you right now. I do not find meal plans or recipes to be beneficial. I completely understand why people want them, but here's the thing. It's like moving to a new city and for the next 10 years, using your GPS on every single drive, even the drives that you repeat over and over and over and over. Only using your GPS and never looking up from the GPS, right? That's what it's like. You have to reprogram your brain and learn how to use food. You have to. There's not always gonna be a cookbook, you know? So again, I'm gonna do this for you guys because I love you, but if you follow your GPS blindly, you're never gonna learn the city. I want to reestablish a new relationship with food for you. I'm trying to reprogram your thinking so you always know how to take approved foods and create meals, okay? Meal plans is just, it's too easy, and then you're gonna get in a habit of thinking that every time you cook, you need a recipe, and then you're gonna be in an Airbnb in some town somewhere, and there's gonna be pots and pans, and you're gonna go, I don't have a recipe. I gotta go to Subway. You know, I'm telling you, it sounds crazy, but trust me, I promise you, I've worked with over 500 people now on a one-to-one basis. It's hilarious. Not hilarious, it's sad. It's sad the way that people will derail themselves because of stuff like this. Well, I have nothing to cook. If you have a house full of approved foods, you always have stuff to cook. Always, 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 and I want to train you to do that, right? So the other things I'm gonna touch on briefly because I'm running out of time is fasting. If you're interested in fasting as part of your paid membership, we can talk about that. I can do one-on-one combos about alternative methods for speeding up results. You get weekly check-ins with me for the first 30 days, right? I think it's really important that you have those weekly check-ins. Recharging comes when you want to redo your custom macros, things like that. What about fitness? I get a lot of questions about fitness. I'm obviously not anti-fitness. I mean, I love fitness, kind of a meathead, right? So, but most of you come to me in a position where you are not healthy enough for exercise. You're not even healthy enough for jogging, right? And that's just the harsh truth, right? So a lot of you, when you come to me, if you're healthy enough for fitness, we'll set up a regimen for you. If you're overweight, you will not be doing any intense exercise for your first 30 days. We can reassess after that because fitness has exactly nothing to do with fat loss. Fitness has nothing to do with fat loss. Watch my AMA. fitness for fat loss or not, right? Once you join, I'll walk you through that little bomb I just dropped if you've never heard that before, but I promise you fat loss and fitness do not go hand in hand. So how can I sum this up, right? This is the big question that I get that I don't know how to answer, right? People want me to sum up Clovis, or they ask me to give them the elevator pitch or whatever. The problem is Clovis is a giant curation. I've just gone over that with you. The other problem is 99.9% of people who ask me to explain what Clovis is will have exactly no idea what I'm talking about. That's the difficult part. Don't want to sound like a jerk. I don't want to sound arrogant, right? But they're simply not going to know what I'm talking about. Let me give you an example. If I had to explain to you what Clovis is, it is a paleo, low carb, low lectin, anti-inflammatory, microbiome friendly, toxin free, chemical free, intermittent fasting, sustainable fitness, minimum effective dose, nutrient density, science backed, love spreading biohackers. That's what Clovis is. I mean, it's crazy. That's Clovis. I literally had to create my own category. That's it. It takes a long ass time to say. It's a pain in the butt, right? Here's the thing. I don't owe society anything. I don't owe your parents shit. I don't owe your best friend shit. People call me all the time. My friend said this, Justin. What do you say to that? My mom said that eating fat will give you cholesterol, Justin. What do you say to that? My doctor told me that you're crazy, Justin. What do you say to that? I say, I don't give a shit. I don't know these people and I don't care what they think about me. Period. I don't know. I owe them nothing. I don't have to put myself or my company or my protocol into a box, an abstract category or a camp, because other people like titles and like to neatly organize things in their perfect little camps. I'm not in a camp, okay? It's crazy. I'm not in a camp. I'm not gonna put myself in a camp because somebody wants me to. That's what it is. That's what Clovis is. Don't care what anybody thinks about it. You shouldn't care what anybody thinks about it either. It is literally in our manifesto that you shouldn't care what other people think. Clovis is optimal living. Yes, fantastic, but on it has total human optimization. It's a little close. It's all about slogans, right? What is Clovis? Building a healthy life together. This is community. I'm not judgmental. I'm not dogmatic. I said that in the beginning. It's not dogmatic. It's not judgmental. It's completely open-minded. It's all about love and learning. Learn, unlearn, relearn. Building a healthy life together. I don't know if you guys ever noticed that literally Clovis underneath the logo says building a healthy life together. That's what this is, guys. That's what you're a part of. Call it a movement. Let's call it a movement, right? Yeah, wait till Clovis is a thing. Wait till you say Clovis and it puts an image in the mind the same way that paleo puts an image in the mind or keto puts an image in the mind. If you guys help me spread this, then that's exactly what's going to happen. If you guys become promoters of Clovis, that's what's going to happen. We'll turn Clovis into a household name. It's going to be amazing, right? So let's take a couple comment break questions. What do we got here? Yes, that's how I sound when I try to explain it. Exactly. I understood that. Yes, you understood it now. That's fantastic. The Clovis community is very accepting. Yes, I know. I love them. Starts with your diet, then causes life changes, then causes personal growth. That's a really good point. I want to talk about that. If you guys are in I Am Clovis, go read the books in the mind section of the resources section. In the mindset section, right? Read about mindset. That's all this is. None of this is possible without a mindset change. I did that AMA called Free Your Mind and the Rest Will Follow. That's really important. This is a mindset shift, right? That's really what it is. Clovis community is very accepting. Yes, very much so. The Clovis Academy is awesome. Get in there, ask questions. All you Clovis people, always be nothing but supportive. Always be nothing but supportive. Remember where you started. Remember that day one, you did not know any of what you know now. Remember that some of you have been in there for 2 or 3 months. You do not know what I know. Don't pretend that you do, right? Be sweet, be accepting, be kind, make everyone feel loved. This is all about love, okay? What else we got here? Clovis is optimal living. Please don't say chemical free. Get over it. Ha. I understood that. What else we got? Sorry I'm late. No problem. Kimberly, what's up? Agree. Perfect explanation. Awesome. Yes, you guys are excited about the recipe book. I know. Recipe. I love it now. It's cool that we'll have our own recipe book. I will tell you this right now. I'm going to launch a Clovis recipe book, and I'm never going to cook a single one of the recipes. Just being honest with you guys. It's just not going to happen, right? Okay, what else we got? Can my athletic, aerialist 14-year-old son use pre and post? Yes, 100%. We're about to talk about Clovis kids. I know we're running out, I'm going way over, but we're about to talk about Clovis kids. Every single one of my formulas is safe for all humans, okay? Let's be clear on that. That's why I make products that are made of whole foods. Every single product on my list is called a GRAS ingredient, which in regulatory terms is generally regarded as safe. Just all of these products that are in all these ingredients that are in all of my products have been tested for safety, and they are all categorized as generally regarded as safe, which means they're safe for all humans. Obviously, I can't promise if you have some kind of crazy, if you have a sweet potato allergy, don't take post-workout because there's sweet potato powder in it. Use common sense, you know? But first recipe book, then Clovis pets over my dead body. It's getting crazy, guys. All right, so let's jump in. I want to talk a bit about, Clovis Kids. What is Clovis Kids? So let me erase this. I'm going to go from I Am Clovis into Clovis Kids, because Clovis is very, very, very important, okay? Clovis Kids is very important. So we have Clovis Kids. Clovis Kids can be thought of as I Am Clovis for your kids, but it's a bit different because we have to handle childhood nutrition differently. We don't handle the food differently, but we handle the protocol differently. And the number one reason why we have to handle the protocol differently is because all your kids are ruined by the time they get to me. Because all of your kids are little sugar burners, because every kid in society is a little sugar burner. Because teachers and doctors and bank tellers and grandma and Auntie Sue and Uncle Bob all feed your kids sugar. 100% of the time. Sugar, sugar, sugar. We have a great Instagram post about a child's average day and how much sugar that they get. It's like over 200 grams of sugar. It's staggering, right? It's really, really crazy. So Clovis Kids is designed to transform households. It is a blueprint for transforming your house into a Clovis-approved living space. That's what we're doing. And I introduced Clovis Kids by asking parents a couple of questions. If you're a kid, you're gonna know, and if you're a parent and you have kids, you're gonna know exactly what I mean by this. I start with a couple questions. First, how many calories does your child need to eat per day? If you're not a part of Clovis Kids, 99.999% of parents do not know. They have no idea, right? How many grams of protein does your child need? How many grams of fat does your child need each day? 99% of parents literally have no idea, right? Kristen Bridge says way more than I thought. 99.9% of parents literally have no idea. They just guess and say things like, I don't know. They just eat what I eat, just less of it, which is the biggest misconception ever, because the assumption is they need to eat less because they're smaller. This is not true. You are a full-grown adult. Unless I have you on a mass-building plan, your tissues are done growing. Everything in your body is tissue. Your organs, your skin cells, your hair cells make up tissue. Your bones, your organs, your hair, your eyelashes, your nails, it's all tissue. Your tissues are done growing. Your children's tissue is absolutely not done growing. This is why we have an epidemic of malnourished children in America, because parents assume the kids need to eat less than they do, which is crazy. They need far more nutrients than you think. That's why I created this program, and that's why I created the Kids Macros Calculator. Which, by the way, having the first ever certified paleo-friendly protein powder in the world was not enough for me, so I now am the proud owner and inventor of the first ever kids macronutrient calculator in the world. I know this to be true. I have tried desperately searching to find one. So I literally invented an algorithm that is your kids macronutrient calculator that will tell you exactly what your kid needs to eat every day, okay? So with Clovis Kids, you get an approved foods list. So we talk about this like the other one. Sorry. This is just terrible handwriting, okay? So you get an approved foods list. Now, the approved foods list is much different than the I Am Clovis approved foods list because your kids don't understand why the transition is happening. Your kids aren't like, I want abs, or I want to look good in a bathing suit. If they're 5, 4, 3, 6, 10 years old, they don't care about that stuff. They just know that mommy and daddy are taking away all of the sugar, and that makes them very mad. So the approved foods list has a lot more options for kids to help ease the transition, right? You also get access to the private Facebook group So there's a Clovis Kids private Facebook group, and I go in there, I go live. I'm Mr. Justin in Clovis Kids. I call myself Mr. Justin. Sometimes I have crazy filters on my head, or wear an astronaut helmet, or I'm just silly. I'm just silly in Clovis Kids. It's really fun. And in Clovis Kids in the Facebook group, you also get their manifestos, and I separate it into sections. We have the littles that are ages 3 to 7. I have the middles who are ages 8 to 12, and I have the elders of the group who are ages 13 to 17. They all get a different manifesto, which are daily affirmations, right? I wrote these manifestos, these daily affirmations, to empower your kids. That's what I'm trying to do, empower your kids. I want them to be independent little machines, right? Decision-making machines, right? So you get the private groups, the manifestos, separated by age group. You get the kids macro calculator. It's the only one in the world. Created the algorithm myself. And it would take me a long time to detail how I made the kids macro calculator. So again, I'm gonna link to the Optimized Paleo podcast with Autumn Smith from Paleo Valley, and I explain exactly how I came up with this kids macronutrient calculator, all the science that's behind it. Again, it is curated science. I just curated the science and brought it all together and created this calculator, which is amazing. You enter like age, height, weight, your kids' information, boom, you get their macronutrients. Just like that, you can do the calculation yourself, right? Created the calculator for you. I have recommended supplements for kids. I have ebooks. You can see these ebooks for sale at clovis.store. You'll see the ebooks for kids. How to talk to your kids about weight is a huge one of my favorite things I've ever written. And the Ultimate Guide to Macros for Kids, fantastic. I love that book as well. An approved products list for the house. So you can get all the toxins out of your house, like have a clean house for your kids, Clovis approved house, right? So check that out. There's exclusive video content inside of the Clovis Kids website. Videos that you won't find anywhere else. There's a reading list for you and your kids, a reading list for your kids. There's resources, fitness recommendations. We can talk about that. I'm actually gonna film some footage. I have a gym in my house. I'm gonna film some bodyweight footage for the kids to teach them little exercises. And you use this info the same way you would the I Am Clovis info, except when you set up an ideal day, you're setting up an ideal day for your kids, not for you. So you have your kids go through the approved foods list and you circle all the foods that they will eat, because I know kids can be picky. So only circle foods that they will eat. If your kid will only eat eggs and bacon and avocado, feed them eggs and bacon and avocado, enough of it to hit their macros, and do it every day. I'm not kidding. They will be perfectly fine. They will be way healthier than they will be from eating sugar nonsense. It's insane. It would be fantastic for them. They'll grow, they'll be healthy, it's fantastic for their cells. Just hit their macros. So set up an ideal day for them. It is not your kid's job to track macros. Understand that. It is your job as a parent. 99.9% of parents are guessing. They have no idea, right? I don't want that to be you. Set up your kid's ideal day. It will take time and it will take planning. You will learn the ins and outs of the foods that your kids will eat so you can set them up for success. Go back and watch my AMAs. Which number 9, feeding your children and their gut bugs. The other one is AMA number 14, how to set your kids free in 30 days. All of my paleo powders are safe, perfectly safe for children. You can create keto treats for them. Like there's a keto hot cocoa recipe that I'll link to that's on the Clovis blog. There's you can make pancakes with my paleo powder. You can make keto ice cream. I make keto ice cream all the time. You can put paleo powder in the keto ice cream to have your kid. You can literally have your kids hitting their macros with ice cream on Clovis Kids. You just need to sign up and let me teach you how to do that. You can have your kids hitting macros and being healthy by devouring hot cocoa and ice cream. I'm not kidding. This is fantastic. I make superfood desserts for your kids. It's unbelievable. With the kids, we're looking for improvement, not perfection. Okay? Again, it's not your children's job to track macros. The calculator is there for you to understand their nutritional needs and go from there. Improvement, not perfection. Try to get as close to those macros as you can. Don't beat yourself up if it doesn't happen. You can't force feed the kid with a funnel, right? It doesn't work that way. So just try to get as close as you can. Basically, I'm showing parents the light, right? I'm pulling them out of darkness. I'm giving them the skills and resources they need to become the providers that their children deserve. I want you to understand something, and I'm sorry if this gets a little bit ranty. Here's the thing. If your children have poor dietary habits and you're mad at them for that, that's insane, right? That's on grown-ups. It's not on the kids. Your 5-year-old doesn't drive to the grocery store and purchase the Cocoa Puffs. He doesn't. The reason why parents struggle so much with this is they simply do not know better. They don't. And here is why. There's all there is to it. Nobody teaches you how to raise a kid. No one teaches you how to feed a kid, right? You learn how to feed your children from marketing companies. It's insane. You learn about Capri Sun and Sunny D and Lunchables from marketing companies, right? With Clovis Kids, my goal is to end that vicious cycle. What I want to have happen, I'm helping you raise kids who have autonomy, right? You're teaching them to make decisions for themselves and stop blindly following, I hate this, grown-ups, okay? Some people get really mad that I talk this way about Clovis Kids. I don't care, okay? This drives me nuts. So this is the crazy thing. This crazy thing that we do with kids, right? Kids have to respect and listen to their elders. You have to respect and listen to all grown-ups, right? We tell them to respect and listen to all grown-ups. Well, guess what? I'm a grown-up. You're a grown-up. We're all grown-ups. Now let me ask you a question. How many grown-ups do you know who are complete dumbasses who you would never want your kid to take advice from? In a typical day, how many dumb-ass grown-ups do you run into? Think about it. You may never have thought about it like this because it's just we've been trained generation after generation after generation. You teach your kids to respect grown-ups, right? Give them the mindset of being an independent human being and not blindly following all grown-ups, right? It's crazy. We allow other grown-ups to tell our kids what to do all the time. They tell them how to think, they tell them how to learn, they decide when they get snacks, they decide when they get nap time, we let them feed them at lunchtime, all the while assuming they know how to take care of our kids. Do you think that any school teacher throughout all of her schooling is taught what she should feed the kids at lunchtime for them to thrive? Do you think that they are taught that? No, of course not. Newsflash, let's do this. Upwards of 66% of adults are overweight. 66% of adults are overweight. But we ship kids off to school and cool, we give them money for lunchtime or they have a program that they do at lunchtime and all the grown-ups, all these obese teachers are feeding our kids, right? I'm trying to avoid this with Clovis Kids, right? We just teach our kids to listen to grown-ups. It's crazy, right? Doesn't work. Listening to the grown-ups drives me nuts. But anyway, I'm gonna step off my soapbox, right? This is why you need Clovis Kids. You need Clovis Kids so you are not in the dark anymore. So you can provide your kids with what they deserve, with what they need, okay? Clovis Kids is amazing. It is one of the things that I'm incredibly proud of. It has an amazing future because there's a big announcement coming. It's gonna be fantastic. And I think Clovis Kids is the future. I firmly believe that. If you want to see change in the country, you want to see change in the healthcare system, I've talked about this before, in 12 short years, the American economy will fail because 100% of our GDP will go to caring for the sick, and it's all metabolic disease, it's all preventable, right? So this is how we change the future. You can change your life, yes, but if you have kids, raise them to be autonomous decision makers, raise them to be independent and educated, raise them to question authority. Do it, okay? I promise you, they're gonna have a better life because of it. So, let's break. Let's see what comments. There's a lot of comments going on. They will be now with Mr. Justin starting class. What do we got here? Hold on, I'm just reading, guys. Ass clowns all around, yeah. It's the convenience factor, I think. Throw them a Pop-Tart. Yes, absolutely. It is sheer apathy. It is nothing but apathy, okay? Sorry, that's what it is. Let's just say. Especially my coworkers, personal trainers think they know everything. Yes, they do, and they're not trained in nutrition whatsoever, so that's hilarious. Everyone is dumb, yeah. What else we got? Almost everyone, yes. Help them make good decisions. That was my mindset before Clovis. This is why I feel so at home in Clovis Kids. Yes, I love Clovis Kids. Didn't teach my kids that when they were younger. Clovis Kids is amazing, and everyone with kids needs to be involved in this. Life lessons. Imagine them never having to worry about obesity like we have it. Yes, exactly. Now, again, always forward, never backwards. You can move forwards, you can't move backwards. So we say this in the manifesto in the Clovis Academy. Wherever I am right now is exactly where I'm supposed to be. Wherever your kids are right now, Sean, is exactly where they're supposed to be, right? So you'll look back at when Bryce was 17, and you'll look at that as the turning point for his life. Literally, the turning point for his life. And 30 years from now, you're gonna be real glad that you made that decision, and that first 17 years isn't gonna matter so much in the grand scheme of things. When he's 40 and he's in really good health, he's not gonna think about age 1 to 17. He's gonna think about that time mom listened to that crazy Justin dude on the Clovis video and he felt confident in his tuxedo, right? Think about that. Wherever he is right now is exactly where he's supposed to be. Remember that. What else we got here? Pediasure things. Ooh, Pediasure is terrible. Kids Manifesto is great. They get wild. When you strike Ensure or whatever, Child Shake. What? Oh God, don't give a kid Ensure. That's ridiculous. Ensure is awful. Ugh. Terrible. Okay. Meat sticks, I'm reading. Geez, you guys, fruit eating sugar burners? Yeah, I need to make a t-shirt. All right, that's a lot of comments. I might have to go through those comments before. All that said, so many teachers are amazing. Yes, absolutely. We can feed our kids well so they behave for our teachers and they can focus on teaching them. Yes, absolutely, 100%. And it is behavioral changes, right? I have certain kids within Clovis Kids that are behavioral kids, and like literally 3 days into changing their diet, they're like, my kid came home with the best score for behavior ever. It's ridiculous. Like, there is an epidemic of children being drugged. There is an epidemic of false diagnoses of things like ADHD, ADD, and even autism. There's a lot of false diagnoses for this, and it needs to be changed. It is child abuse. Look up the Esquire, and I'll link to this, the Esquire article, ESQUIRE, Esquire, Drugging of the American Boy. If you read the article, Drugging of the American Boy, and you don't get so mad you want to put your fist through a wall, you are not a human being. It's so bad. It's so bad. And it's all because of nutrition. I'm telling you, it's all because of nutrition. All right, so we're creeping up on an hour and a half here. So let's talk about this. We're gonna move on. That's Clovis Kids. It's amazing. Get in there. That's Clovis Kids. We have the I Am Clovis. For you grown-ups, if you are ready, if you're watching this and you're ready and you want to become a part of this, all you have to do is go to clovis.store. Nice and easy. Clovis.store. No www, no .com, none of that. Clovis.store. All you gotta do is go there. Krista just shared Drugging the American Boy. That's fantastic. Check out that article. You got this stuff bookmarked or something, I think. That's awesome. Clovis.store, you scroll down and you're gonna see a section called Lifestyle Coaching. And in the Lifestyle Coaching section, let me fix that T. In the Lifestyle Coaching section, you're gonna see the Custom Nutrition Plan, which my device is a ghost. That was crazy. You're gonna she's talking to me. Sorry. But you're gonna see the Custom Nutrition Plan, and you're gonna see Clovis Kids, the membership for Clovis Kids. It says Clovis Kids Family Membership. I think it says right there on the homepage. Scroll down, and you will see the Lifestyle Coaching. It's fantastic, right on the homepage. So get yourself I Am Clovis. Get yourself Clovis Kids. That's all there is to it. Once you sign in, complete your purchase. You're gonna get your welcome email. Send me the info I need. We're off to the races. Let your transformation begin. If you're not quite ready, join the Clovis Academy. You can join the Clovis Academy for free. Again, this is a private Facebook group. We are creeping up on 1,000 members in the Clovis Academy. So get into the Clovis Academy, poke around, use the search bar on the left-hand side of the screen, search for things like NSV is a great one to search for inspiration. That's a non-scale victory. Pictures of people with their clothes fitting different, people's skin clearing up, people feeling better, all these things, right? So check out the Clovis Academy, get in there, poke around, take a look at the transformations. Pick up one of my many ebooks. There are 4 ebooks on the store right now, and there are 4 or 5 in the works that I'm writing as we speak, constantly creating content, right? So check out the ebooks, clovis.store, scroll down, you'll see the ebooks, How to Talk to Your Kids About Weight, The Ultimate Guide to Macros for Kids. So you can pick up those 2 books if you're not quite ready for Clovis Kids. Pick up The Ultimate Guide to Macros for Kids, and pick up How to Talk to Your Kids about Weight. Even if you don't have overweight kids, that's a really, really important book to read. You can get the Approved Products List. The Approved Products List is great. Get that ebook. Then there's the Perfect Fat Loss Guide. So if people aren't ready, you can get the Perfect Fat Loss Guide, which is basically the I Am Clovis plan without the customization, and it's way stripped down. I mean, it's not even close. You don't get membership to any of the member portals or any of that, exclusive video content. The Approved Foods list is way shorter. You don't get custom macros, but it's $27 versus $97. So you can pick up a $27 ebook. It's a full-blown 30-day protocol, and I promise you, you're gonna get results. You follow that 30-day protocol and you have weight to lose, you're gonna lose it. I'm telling you, it's fantastic. It is, without me knowing the individual and being able to extract any information from them, it's the perfect nutrition plan, in my opinion, right? So check out the Perfect Fat Loss Guide. That's an ebook on clovis.store. Check that out. Also, right now, there's a special on the Clovis store, so I wanna tell you about this. And that is a free samples special. So if you go buy yourself a bag of fat loss, or you decide, hey, Justin said post-workout is a great meal replacement, go grab a bag of fat loss, and you got fat loss or post-workout, you're gonna see it right there on the homepage. It's a little pop-up, enter your email, you'll get a code for free samples. So if you go buy yourselves a bag, fat loss bag, post-workout bag, pre-workout, whatever, buy yourself something on the Clovis store and you will get free samples, which is amazing. That's pretty cool, right? So you can get free samples of any formula that you want to try those out. Another thing, so here's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna do this prior to 9:30, so inside of the hour and a half. I just launched a new product and it's on the Clovis store. So if you go to clovis.store and you scroll down and you go to the merch section, you're gonna see Clovis shaker bottles. Specifically, Clovis blender bottles with the cool little metal ball that helps you mix it up. It's an all black shaker bottle with a white Clovis logo on it. So we officially have Clovis shaker bottles. Hooray! They're $17.50. Go to clovis.store, scroll down, go to the merch section. You are going to see the Clovis shaker bottles. And I need to tell you this right now because I'm looking and there are 25 live viewers at this moment, okay? 25 live viewers. And I have exactly 30 of them. So get busy. Go check them out. I don't know if I'm gonna make them again. Depends on how this goes. So get over there, check out the shaker bottles. Chris already found it, that's cool. I had to post it before because I knew I'd be here live, so it had to be up. So I posted it just before I came in here. Go check it out. Go check out the shaker bottles. Sell me out of them. Give me a reason to make more of them because sometimes I make stuff that people say they're gonna buy and then they don't, so I don't make it. I got 30 of them. Go pick them up, scoop them up, put them in your cart, get some free samples while you're at it. Pretty awesome. Get to the Clovis store. It's gonna be great. Right there in the merch section. And I only have 30 of them, okay? So we launched shaker bottles. That's all about Clovis Kids. That's all about I Am Clovis. Go to clovis.store to find everything. That's it, clovis.store. All you gotta do, go there, poke around, check it out. We're an hour and a half in. I'm still good to go if you guys wanna do some live Q&A. Hit me with your questions. Let's talk about it. I'm gonna scroll up and check out some of what I've missed, which takes me a minute sometimes. Clovis.store. Ooh, product/Clovis blender bottle. Nicely done, Krista. Look at you. Yeah, little teacher's pet. Teacher joke. You like that, right? Okay. What we've been waiting for, so pumped to try cacao. Yeah, awesome. Already have the free samples. Killer, free samples. Saw that last night. My brother was diagnosed with ADHD and he had to go to special classes and he was so pale from lack of nutrition that one time a lady at the grocery store gave my mom some money for food because she thought he was starving. It was definitely his diet. He recently gave up his soda and lost 30 pounds. Yes, Allison, you must watch The Magic Pill on Netflix. There is a movie called The Magic Pill and I think everyone should watch it. Especially anyone who has ADHD, ADD, or particularly autism in their family. Watch The Magic Pill. In the beginning of Clovis Kids, people get freaked out because I say literally take all the unapproved foods out of the house, cold turkey, no arguments, doesn't matter. Your kid's gonna cry and scream and freak out and fuss for 3 days, then he's gonna get really hungry. You let him enjoy fasting. Fasting is fantastic for kids, and then eventually they will eat the food that you provide them with, and it's the single best decision you can make for your children's health long term, right? What do we got here? We haven't joined Clovis Kids yet, considering it. My concern is raising kids with eating disorders. Okay, let me touch on this, Christy, because this is really important. Clovis Kids is your responsibility. And I try to make that clear here. Do not tell your kids what their macros are. I said very clearly, it is not your kid's job to track their own macros. Not even a little bit. You don't tell them what the caloric intake is. You don't tell them what the macros are. You literally plan the meal creation in your house around what your kids need. That is the job. It is the opposite. I do not want you to tell your kids to track anything. And newsflash, if your kids are sugar burners, they already have an eating disorder. They are going to have problems when they grow up, 100%. 1 out of every 5 Caucasian children in America will be type 2 diabetic by age 12. If you move into the African American community, 1 out of every 2 African American children will be type 2 diabetic by age 12. How many kids have asthma? How many kids have ADD? How many kids have ADHD? There's this crazy thing where people are like, well, I'm depriving my kid by not giving them soda. No, you're loving your kid by not giving them soda. And you're telling them that you put their health above their taste buds and their addiction, right? It's like handing your kids cigarettes. It's really bad. So it's not an eating disorder situation. The manifestos are ridiculously empowering. If you read the manifestos, there's nothing about food in there. I mean, I guess there kind of is. It's I love my body and treat it with respect. It's that kind of language. Eating sugar every day is not loving your body. Giving your kid sugar every day is not loving your kid. Sorry, I'm sorry if that offends anybody, but it's simply fact. It's just one of those things where it's you're setting your kid up for a much brighter future. And this is a huge problem. It's an epidemic we have with overweight children, type 2 diabetic children, all that. It's a really big problem. So yeah, Kristen, she said, Christy, feel free to PM Kristen, PM me, message me, any questions you have, anything at all. I can show you the manifestos if you want to see the manifestos, so you can figure that stuff out. It's really serious, really, really serious business, right? Thoughts on Clovis lifestyle and eating disorder recovery. All therapy and books, etc. say to not label foods good or bad. Yeah, but that's not correct. It's not correct. So that's the thing, is here's what's happening, Christy, and I want you to come to me because this is really important. You're listening to mainstream right now, right? To say that there is no good or bad food is crazy. To say that white flour is a good food is not good or bad, and then to say pasture-raised grass-fed beef is not good or bad, or pasture-raised chickens, eggs from pasture-raised chickens is not good or bad, and white flour is not good or bad, or Coca-Cola is not good or bad, or a Lunchable is not good or bad, that's insane person talk. So whoever says these things is simply wrong, right? Absolutely wrong. And not to mention, I am not going to name names. If anybody in the Academy wants to reach out to Christy, we have a great number of people in the Clovis Academy on Clovis protocols who are recovering from eating disorders. It's a very serious thing. I take it tremendously seriously. And an eating disorder it's a mental issue more than it is a physical issue, for sure. Things like body dysmorphia and that thing, thinking that you're incredibly overweight even when you're incredibly thin, the mind playing tricks on you. This is a mental thing. It's not a relationship with food. We need to remove the idea that human beings have a relationship with food. Food is fuel. The only reason why humans have a relationship with food is because some foods are addicting and others are not. Addicting foods are simple refined carbohydrates. They are absolutely bad. They are not good. They can't be good in any sense of the word. Simple processed refined carbohydrates like sugar, chips, all that stuff, no, it's simply not good, right? So that's the issue, is anything that sugar or carbohydrates is as addicting as heroin, right? It's like eating heroin. So you can't make the argument that it's good. You need to remove the bad foods. There is no relationship with food. I don't have a relationship with grass-fed ground beef. I don't have a relationship with eggs. What people have relationships with is ice cream, Oreos, Pringles, Doritos, Pepsi, Diet Pepsi, Coca-Cola, all these things that they're addicted to. That's where the relationship talk comes into play. You see what I'm saying? You shouldn't have a relationship with food. Food's not a human being. You don't have a relationship with it. It's simply fuel. And we can talk about all that. And again, this is all a mindset shift. Mindset shift. You shouldn't be, if you struggle with an eating disorder, you shouldn't be focusing on food first. You should be focusing on mindset first. And I do a ton of mindset training, and I have a ton of resources inside of I Am Clovis, books and literature and podcasts on mindset specifically, because I need people to get their mindset right before they can get the food right. I'd rather talk to somebody with an eating disorder about mindset first and not even talk about food in the beginning, right? They need to get mindset right first. I just explained what macros do for us. Protein is great for your muscles for BMX. Yes. Fat is good for X. They've even asked, is this healthy for me? Yes, absolutely, right? This is fantastic. Getting ready to go back to school next month for my nutrition degree. Nervous. How nervous are you? Oh, I'm ridiculously nervous. Right now, I think I told you guys this, I'm back in school to get my specialist in fitness nutrition. The cover of the book is a bowl of granola in milk with like raisins. It's ridiculous. And the very first chapter is energy balance. Calories in versus calories out is how you achieve energy balance. If you burn more calories than you eat, you lose weight. All nonsense, bullshit science. It's literally been debunked for centuries now, and they're still teaching it. It's insane. It makes me nervous for the future of the company, for the future of the country, for personal trainers, physical therapists, nutritional therapists, whatever. It's terrible. It's just nonsense, right? We already determined this too. I can't remember what AMA I said it in, but the medical community is 17 years behind current research. So when current research, it was the depression AMA. When current research proves something, it takes 17 years so that trickles down into your primary care physician's practice. 17 years on average. It's insane, right? The magic pill, yes, awesome, fantastic. What else we got? Sorry, I'm creepily link posting. No, I like it. Link posts are great. Put in my cart. Okay, I saw a bunch of these. What else we got? That was my brother. Saw that. The money you save on the junk you won't buy anymore in one Costco trip pays for the custom nutrition plan. Yes, 100%. That's the thing. Let's talk about cost, right? So people talk about cost with the plan. They're like, well, you want me to buy grass-fed beef instead of normal beef, right? So you want me to buy grass-fed beef, but the grass-fed beef is $3 more per pound, right? You want me to buy beef that's $6.99 per pound, right? If I do that, my grocery bill is gonna go up. No, because here's what you're thinking about. You're saying my current grocery bill is $300, right? My grocery bill is $300, and I buy ground beef as part of that $300. So if I buy the more expensive ground beef, my bill is now going to be, $306, right? You're going to make my grocery bill go up. Sorry, bump here. You're going to make my grocery bill go up to $306 because you made me buy grass-fed beef. That's not the case. What I have you do with Clovis is only buy from the approved foods list. So when you add up the chips and Capri Sun and Doritos and milk and Cocoa Puffs and I don't know, whatever your husband likes, and beer and pretzels and popcorn and pixie sticks and gummy worms that your kid wanted in the checkout line and the freaking M&Ms your kid wanted and blah, 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 blah. When you remove all of this, remove all of the junk, which, trust me, for most people, 99% of the house is junk, then what happens is you scratch all that nonsense and your grocery bill, let's say, it drops to $100. Because you removed all of the junk, right? All of the nonsense garbage that you don't need, that has no nutrient density, that's literally killing your entire family. You remove all of that and you start here. Now, if you want to get back to that $300 grocery bill, and I'm telling you to get $6.99 grass-fed beef, and now you got $106.99 for your pound of grass-fed beef, you got a lot of wiggle room before you get back up to that $300, right? This whole thing, it's too expensive to eat healthy, drives me nuts. It's not too expensive if you get rid of the ridiculous habits that you currently have, right? Get rid of the junk. This should be your number one priority. People are out there driving Mercedes-Benz and talking on iPhone X's and saying that it's too expensive to eat healthy. That's crazy talk. It's crazy. It's simple mathematics, guys. Simple, 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 simple. Clovis Kids, Link Master, what else we got? Teachers are amazing, read that. Coworkers, all right, cool. I think I'm all caught up. Yeah. Ironically, the few foods my kids don't like are lectin-rich foods. That's good. Cool. All right, yeah, I'm back up to the comments here. Anyone new ones come up? Let's see. What a great point. Yup, this is very important. I don't think anybody has ever seen this put together quite like this, right? One of the trainers at work was trying to convince someone the old concept that she needs carbs for energy. That's hilarious. Dumbest thing ever, right? That guy has not done... I don't know. I'm not going to brag on that guy. I want to stop talking. I'm going to start getting mean. And you grow half the approved foods list. Not that I am yet. Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah, if you could grow them, that's fantastic. I get all my grass-fed beef from a local farm, so I get a great, great price on it, which is great. Vital Choice eggs are real expensive, but the best, and I'm never turning back. Yeah, they're fantastic. I buy Vital Choice eggs. I have 3 cartons of Vital Choice eggs in my fridge right now because I eat 5 eggs a day because I train every day. So, like, my baseline is like I have to hit like 2,400 calories a day. So I'm like, I mean, we're talking 5 eggs, a half pound of grass-fed beef, a fillet of salmon, sometimes a can of sardines. I make myself a smoothie with paleo powder. I have a bulletproof coffee in the morning. I have pecans. I have some dark chocolate. I'm an expensive boy with all this fitness that I'm doing, right? Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right, what else we got for questions, guys? There's still 22 of you are live right now. That's pretty cool. Awesome. Any more comments? Keep the comments coming. Any questions about anything that I covered? Have you guys sold me out of shaker bottles yet? I sure hope so. There shouldn't be any shaker bottles by the time I come off of this live video. If there are, I'm going to buy them all just to prove you guys. I'm just kidding. This is going to be like last weekend when I threatened to slap people in the face with a Hot Pocket. That was interesting. I need to clip that and turn it into like a DJ remix or something about getting slapped in the face with a Hot Pocket. All right, what else you guys got? Jim can't have eggs though. He has to get another protein source. No problem. Not a problem at all. That's why there's a million protein sources on there, right? Got mine. Awesome. Kimberly, killer. That's fantastic. Take a picture with it and post it on some on social media and stuff. I skipped Big Brother for you tonight. Excellent decision, Carla. Excellent, excellent, excellent decision. In the world of streaming, you can get any shows that you want on demand after the fact. You don't have to do that, right? If you didn't get samples, then you didn't fill out the form that I told you to fill out, Sean. It doesn't just happen. It can't just happen automatically. I need your permission to do it. It goes through your email. So what you have to do when you go to that website, if you scroll down the page, a little pop-up will come up on the right side of the screen. If it doesn't, then if you go up to your URL, like you're gonna go to a different website and exit, then it will load. If that didn't happen for some reason, hit Shift R or I don't know if you're on a PC. Does anybody use PCs anymore? God, I hope not. Shift R, refresh your window, and see if that pop-up comes up. But you do have to enter your email to get that deal, like I explained a little bit earlier, right? I have DVR. There you go. That's awesome. Send you an email about coins. Trying to use my coins to get a blender bottle. Okay, awesome. Did you check out the video? I made an instructional video for how to use your coins. So you literally just scroll down to the bottom of the screen and you sign in to your little coin thing and you click the redeem button and you get your code. This tech stuff's real tricky, guys. I'm just kidding. It's not that tricky. Just sign in, click redeem, get your code, use it on your blender bottle, right? Okay. Did get my bottle. Awesome. Fantastic. Use your coins. Damn it. iPhone. Killer. I think my cart crashed. I don't know if it went through. You guys are having trouble. This might have something to do, I don't know, maybe there's a lot of you on the website or something, but no. I mean, I can have thousands and thousands of people on that website. So, interesting. But we'll see how it goes. Okay, but if you've claimed the coins and you haven't used them, it's still, if you claimed the coins and you haven't used them, they're still there when you sign in and you have your thing. Now again, I can't look at it right now because I'm not right in front of it, but it will show you all of the awards. So let's say it says $5, it will say claimed, and you just click view code. Sorry, I'm not trying to speak condescendingly, but it's like, it's really not. If it says that you've claimed it and you haven't used it, then the points are still there for sure. You just have to click whichever one it says you've claimed, and it will say view, it'll say view this code, and just copy the code and use it in your little cart, right? There you go. You know how to use coins. Awesome. If you're ever thinking about tweaking the pre-workout formula, I'd be super pumped if you added a beet flavor. Maybe. I don't know. I actually take super beets every day. Super beets pretty interesting. Got my bottle. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. The only way that those points would be gone is if they got redeemed. So I'm not. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out after the AMA. But that's, yeah, something happened there. If it's claimed, then you might have $5 on a order somewhere. We'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. What else we got? Yeah, we'll chat via email later. What else we got besides coins and shaker bottles and beets and all the goodies? Yeah, maybe I'd consider it. I could check it out because citrus flavors are crazy expensive. The pre-workout, that's the other thing people don't realize about this entrepreneur thing is like these powders are stupid expensive to make. If you take an average collagen powder, let's say, just a collagen powder, my products are 9 times more expensive to manufacture than those collagen products. That's how much better my products are, just so you guys know. The profit margin is quite small and they are crazy expensive, right? It's ridiculous. All right, I don't want to keep talking about the code. These comments are coming in, but it doesn't work via email. It goes, it might be via email. Never. Yeah, we'll talk about it later. We'll talk about the code later, okay? We'll figure it out. This is not Zendesk customer service right now on the Clovis live video. What else you got? If you guys don't have any questions, like I said, if I don't get questions, I'm going to shut this down. So let me know what else you want to talk about. Any questions about where Clovis came from? Any questions about Clovis.store, Clovis Kids? I am Clovis. Any of these things? You guys got any questions? If you do, let me know. Can you eat too much fiber? Yeah, 100%. You absolutely can. Now, that would be pretty tough to do. There are different types of fibers. So look up like insoluble fiber, soluble fiber. Again, I recommend that you guys do research on your own. You can do too much, but if you do too much, all that's going to happen is you're going to get gassy, or you actually, if you did way too much fiber, you could actually get constipated. You could have loose stools. There's a lot that can happen. It depends on what type of fiber you're having, but there's plenty of evidence that shows that like Paleolithic man had between like 25 to 50 grams of fiber a day, and the average American gets 4 to 6 grams of dietary fiber. It's insane. It's ridiculously low. Where do we get fiber? In literally the entire approved foods list. That's it. Like the only vegetables that you're gonna find in there are incredibly high fiber and low net carbohydrates. Like I talk about green leafy vegetables all the time. And again, Carla, this goes back, study your approved foods list. If you wanna find out where to get fiber from, study your approved foods list. Now, if you wanna supplement fiber, I really like psyllium husk. There's a product called Triphala, which is an Ayurvedic medicine dietary fiber. It's fantastic. It's probably the best one I've ever seen for issues like constipation. Triphala. That's Psyllium husk, I'm not even gonna write, yeah, I guess I'll write it. Psyllium husk is another great dietary fiber. Yeah, check those out. If you need to supplement dietary fiber, if your stomach is a mess. Avocados, fantastic, tons of dietary fiber in avocados. Flax seeds, fantastic, tons of dietary fiber in flax seeds. Nuts are good for this. Like I said, leafy green vegetables are good for this. There's prebiotic dietary fiber in all of my paleo powders. Every single paleo powder has prebiotic dietary fiber in it. I believe 3 grams of prebiotic dietary fiber, which is pretty great, and it has probiotics with it. So you're getting the probiotics with the paleo powder, and you're getting prebiotics, which feed the probiotics. So it's almost like someone planned that when they created the product, right? Weird. It's crazy how that happens. Great AMA. Gotta go to bed. Okay, Krista. I do not hate you. Stop it. It was just a funny conversation to get into on the live. Okay, fiber. Stomach is a disaster. If your stomach's a disaster, we should probably talk about that. And you should check out the book Healthy Gut, Healthy You by Dr. Ruscio, Michael Ruscio. Healthy Gut, Healthy You. Check it out. Fantastic book. I highly recommend that you pick that up if your stomach is a disaster. That's a really big thing that you're going to want to fix. Watch the lectins and leaky gut episode for sure. That's important. All right, what else we got, guys? Anything we chatted about tonight? Any more questions? Let me know. I'll wait a minute or two. I'll start doing an outro. This was Ask Me Anything number 27. What makes Clovis different and why you need it? That's the subtitle. What makes Clovis different and why you need it. Very important episode. I think we needed to get this information out there, tell people how this all happened, where this comes from. We're coming up on 2 hours now. It's a long one. So I'll probably duck off here. Thank you guys for all your questions. Thank you for any purchases that were made while I was here. I can't see them. I'll see them on my phone's going to go nuts when I take it off of the live video. So I'm so good to do everything you tell me to. Yes, awesome. Email me. Sprouts clean me out, dude. That's great. That's fantastic. Good to know. All right. So thank you guys so much. This is Ask Me Anything number 27. What makes Clovis different? Share this with your people, right? I'm going to cut it up into different sections. I'm going to make little bite-sized sections, and I'll push those out so you guys can, I'll share it with you when I make those little cuts, so you can share these with people in bite-sized portions so they can get an idea of what Clovis is all about. We can bring them to the Clovis Academy, bring them into I Am Clovis, bring them into Clovis Kids, go to the store, get your shaker bottle. Thank you guys for everything. I really appreciate it. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for letting me do what I love. And I'll see you tomorrow in the groups for the morning manifestos and my live videos in I Am Clovis and Clovis Kids. So if you become a member between then and now, I'll see you tomorrow in the morning. Thank you guys so much. AMA number 27. I'm Justin Nault. You don't need any of that stuff. Signing off. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.